Hey, how are you? My name's Salt. Welcome back to some Magic the Gathering Arena Historic Brawl. There is going to be a lot more Historic Brawl again on the channel. There is a lot of legends, as well as a lot of reduxed legends. Reduxed? Is that the right word? They're digital reprints, essentially. As well as just a lot of new legends. Right now, we're going to be talking about Errant and Giada. But I'm going to preface this by saying, if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and all that stuff. There will be more Historic Brawl type videos on the channel. I'm still on my giant magic kick, in case you hadn't figured out by the content that's been on the channel recently. There will be some videos in standard, but I just need some time to kind of build up the wild cards to craft the stuff I need, as well as like open packs to get the stuff I need. So standard's on a tiny bit of a hold, but there's so much Historic Brawl decks that I want to do, like this one. There's Brawl and Kari Zev. There's the old Atraxa, the original Atraxa. I want to make a deck with them. I want to do Hitotsugu and Kiari. There's so many decks, but let's talk about this deck. This is a Flash Flying Tribal deck that you play as Flash Flying Tribal. Don't try and make it Angel Tribal. It won't work as well as Angel Tribal. There's other better Angel Tribal commanders than Errant and Giada. They are amazing in a blue-white, kind of mid-rangey pile, if that makes any sense. You're grinding value through your Flash or Flying creatures, with stuff like Ledger Shredder in order to gain card advantage, Fairy Vandal and Fairy Mastermind in order to gain advantage and +1/+1 counters. You use some cards like Vega and Jubilant Skybonder and Linvala for just card advantage or like a little bit of protection. Just lots and lots of value all over the place in this deck. And plus it's in blue-white, so you play lots of controlling cards such as Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. You have access to stuff like Vanquish the Horde and Farewell, and my new favorite board wipe, unironically, Sunfall. You're going to see this card a lot in a lot of my control decks going forwards. I think it's so cool. It's such a cool middle ground between the 5+ costed card, or like the 6+ costed cards like your Farewells out there, where they exile all sorts of stuff, and like your Supreme Verdicts as the 4-costed, which destroy all creatures. This exiling all creatures is just so nice. So unless they're phased out, indestructible, who cares? So nice. It's going to be an addition to basically almost every blue-white deck I run. We do have some bigger draw card engines, such as the Muldrifter and the Cloudblazer, which we can play off the top with Errant and Giada. We have some cool flash cards, such as Prayer of Binding, Cathar Commando, Archivist of Ogma, that we can just like flash off the top of our deck for good value. We have some little flyers like Fairy Seer and Siren Storm Tailor and Spectral Sailor to just burn value out. We do have some stuff like Esper Sentinel, which is just classic blue-white value cards. Deck's a lot of fun. If you're going to build this commander and you don't follow my deck list, which is down in the description below, I highly recommend play them faster than you think. You might think because they're blue-white you want to play control, but the commander doesn't help you with that. And at that point, you'd be better off just playing a deck with, you know, Teferi or, like, Yorion as your commander at that point, if you're just trying to grind a super grindy long-term controlling deck. Errant and Giada does much better in a mid-rangey, you will beat them down with flyers style of play. But that's just my opinion. That's how I like to run the deck. That's how I found it to be the most successful. I've drafted this deck a few times. That's why this video didn't come out earlier. Hopefully you enjoy this deck list. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And let's hop right into the gameplay. We are going first. We are playing against old school middle school Vorinclex. The middle of the 3 Vorinclexes. I don't like this hand that much. I like Fairy Mastermind. I like Mystical Dispute, but I don't like them in this particular thing. This is not any better. This is a tiny bit better. We will probably just drop the favorable wins, though. It's really nice in order to help beat down my opponent. However, I would much rather be able to just kind of play some stuff on curve here. And eventually maybe work towards this Cloudblazer. If they play any creature ramp, I might make it disappear. Yep. Them getting out Vorinclex as soon as possible is basically tantamount for them. And we want to stop that. We don't really have a way to stop it anymore. Okay, that doesn't have Death Touch, it just has Toxic. That's a +1/+1 counter thing. We will flash in Errant and Giada now. Play this. We will play this off the top of our deck. But our Fairy Vandal, it's permanently +2/+3'd. But we will probably flash in. We probably won't bother to stop with the Toxic. We could trade the Angel of Unity for it, honestly. Roaring Earth, a little annoying, but I think I would rather like flash in my Fairy Vandal and start doing the beatdown, you know? And then I can play Cloud Laser on this next turn. Just draw 2 cards, gain 2 life, have a nice little 2/2 here. Let's just start on the beatdown, honestly. My opponent's missed a land drop. We can just kind of... Okay, they're going to hit their land drop now. We can just kind of hold this thing in hand, by the way, until we need to scry stuff off of the top. They whiffed on the Wayward Sawtooth, and Red and 7, and Colossal Majesty, all of. Cloud Blazer still trades with any of their stuff at the moment, which is quite nice. Next turn, I think I'm going to start trying to hold up the Nagate. Careful Cultivation, giving it reach. That is incredibly annoying. However, we can Cyber Cryptomancer to really help with that. Or they're just going to tap it for mana and just leave themselves wide open to a really big swing here. We are the beatdown. I don't know if my opponent realizes that, but we are the beatdown deck here. We'll be able to flash in Archivist of Ogma and Cyber Cryptomancer. I don't know why they're putting the counters on the Stalker instead of the Shambler, when like the Shambler just synergizes with the counters better. So don't know why they haven't just like played out their commander. Maybe they're afraid of I don't know what they're afraid of, TBH. They can swing away all they like. Toxic 2 does not scare me. I will start playing stuff off the top of my library here at Instep, just to maybe try and hit some more stuff. The Fairy Seer just got a little better. We will flash this in, and we will make our commander larger so they don't die to the Swarm Shambler. Play Linvala off the top here. Play the Fairies here to scry away the top of our deck. We can sack Linvala to make everything indestructible, by the way. Unfortunately, I don't really want those right now. I think we'll just kind of vibe back at the moment. I don't feel like there's a reason to swing in until we can like go lethal. So I think we will hang out and chill. Linvala gives us just like huge access to just being able to chump block, multi-block, and do whatever need be in order to make myself have just like a really great block into my opponent. I don't know if they realize that. Do I have lethal in the air? Hang on. 3... 6 damage... 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we have lethal. Yeah, we have lethal in the air. And that's not lethal on the ground. That is 16 damage. However, what we can do is just do this and kill their creatures just to prove a point. You might think that this is kind of toxic, and you might be right. However, we are now indestructible. Nothing you do matters. Fear me! And then we can play Archangel Elspeth on this next turn and win off of it. Because we will... No, where are you going? I wasn't done! I was gonna do a cool thing. I was gonna make my non-flyer a fly. I was gonna play Archangel Elspeth, make the Archivist of Ogma be a 4/4 flyer, and swing in for lethal. You're currently seeing how we beat Green Stompy. We beat a pretty powerful Green Stompy that had a pretty good start, honestly. Thankfully, I counted the Gala Greeters. If they had gotten away with that, that would have been rough. But they had a pretty okay start. They missed land drops, but like... We came in with a, what is that, 1, 2, 3 tapped lands after our first 5 lands, so... GG's opponent. On to the next. We are on the play with an abundance of ramp, but no untapped land sources. Into Falco Spara. We'll do this. I really like this hand, actually. It doesn't technically play Absorb. But we'll be able to flash out Fairy Mastermind on too. And get it growing. Make my monster grow! Oh, hey, we got our second blue source. It'll hurt, but... The other reason I'm really happy with Thieving Skydiver is I bet Falco Spara will play... some form of, like, something here in the future. Some form of something. You word good. You word goodly. Good job. If they swing in with this, we can flash in Errant and Giada and trade. Actually, it's not even a trade, it's a dub. Do we let them... I think we just try and flash this in, and we see what they do in response. They did absolutely nothing, it died. Well, that worked well. That's the plus side of having flash from your command zone. Interesting. We'll play this. I think we want to play this off the top. We really, really do. Because it makes our Thieving Skydiver better. Actually, you know what? We'll make our Jubilant Skybonder better. We'll play this guy off the top, too. Why not? And we'll make our guy even better. We have another really good thing off the top here. Watcher of Spheres. It makes our flyers cost 1 less, meaning we can double spell with Jubilant Skybonder after this. I need to be careful, basically starting this turn here. Proliferate Falco Spara. Yo, thanks! I will draw a second card. Yeah, ooh, they did not like that. I think they missed their land drop and then realized that I was gonna draw a card every time they drew a card. Yeah, I mean, look at this value though. We had 4 creatures out on turn 4. And we had a 4/4 in our Jubilant Skybonder through Angel of Unity. I'm not the hugest fan of alchemy cards, but like I will use them just because I know they're powerful and I know other people will also be using them. GG's, I guess, opponent? Yeah, y'all got to see the power of the flash aspect and the play off the top aspect of this deck. It's so nice. We are going first. We are somehow going first. I just realized we're going first a lot, and we're playing into Yarok. This hand is pretty good, though. Play this, be able to flash in the Spectral Sailor. We'll just go ahead and do if they're going to play a tapped land. Play this. We'll be able to play Omen of the Seas, which I think we will just use to hunt down non-painful blue sources. Alright, listen. I said I would use it to hunt down non-painful blue sources. I cannot turn down Cloud Blazer. We will just play Angel of Unity, which I don't believe actually hits anything in my hand, but it's just nice and it'll regain me some life. I'm a little concerned as to what my opponent might be playing here. They're playing Harrow to ramp. Interesting. Ooh, Vega. Vega's really nice here. Vega doesn't have flash. Errant and Giada do have flash. I wonder if my opponent has a removal spell of some sort. Oh man, that giant pause when I moved to combat. I'm glad I waited. Holy cow. We can also just sack the Sailor to draw, but we didn't miss a land drop, so. Oh, sorry, we don't actually have to sack him. Sorry, I'm confusing this with a different card that you sack to draw. We can't just draw a card off our Sailor, though. which is pretty nice. I wish we had gotten a second blue source to be able to play Rewind. But we do have the Wandering Emperor to maybe just like flash in for some value here. Thinking. At least they said something, but I'm just very confused as to what they're thinking about. Like, I guess it could be just like, yes. Let me, just, okay, well, we'll just flash in our commander then, if they're just gonna do that. And we will play this, just, it's a little bit sketchy in a way, but now I'm really glad I did. We're opening ourselves up pretty heavily to a board wipe here. But I'm really glad I did, because it just got me through a little pocket of 3 lands, effectively. Yeah. I was like, it's opening us up to a board wipe here. Although Cloud Blazer does live through that. It is technically a 5-drop. Yeah, now we have access to Rewind, which is unbelievably good in this deck, by the way. Rewind, and there's another one that's a 3-cost version of Rewind, but it only hits non-creature spells. Rewind is just, like, invaluable in this deck, honestly. Because you play so much stuff at instant speed, being able to just, you know, counter a spell and get full value afterwards, so nice. That's 2 mana of any one color, okay. Oh, we will just counter that. It looks like my opponent left up no green mana. Or sorry, no blue mana. they left up tons of green mana. But they left up no blue mana. Let's actually play the Wandering Emperor here. I want to get pressure. And I want to go wider. So we will make a token, and then we'll start plussing on the Cloud Blazer. We will gain some life. We want more pain-free lands. We will plus on this girly? This human scout.
I have got new moves to teach you.
Interesting. So they don't really have creature interaction based on how priority is sticking versus not sticking. We could use Gate to the Citadel as a Seek feature. Once again, Alchemy card. Not the hugest fan of Alchemy personally, but lots of people in this format will use Alchemy cards. They're going to use Uro. Interesting. I'm amazed they haven't played their commander yet. Maybe they're afraid that I'm holding up interaction because I'm a very play at instant speed deck. Alright, so now we just don't play around our samurai at all. My opponent was really struggling to hit their land drops there. I think we... Whoop, hang on. We'll seek a non-land card. We found Shark Typhoon. More importantly, we found Absorb. So we have lots of stuff we can play.
Strike fast and strike.
Can we play Vega off of this? I think we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. 8 open mana. We can play both Vega and Errant and Giada, or we can play Vega and hold up Absorb, right? Because I have 1, 2, 3, yeah, I have 4 open blue, and I only need 2 for Absorb. Yeah, you're currently kind of witnessing part of why I find this deck to be so consistent and strong. I can just kind of play flyers and just beat down my opponent. It's why I went... I know you're thinking, this is a 5-drop that's doing the beating down. Yes, but I guess my opponent thought it was too much. I'm going to finish my thought, though. GG's, though, opponent. I'm going to finish my thought. But I was putting on lots of pressure with a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and what is actually a 3-drop, as well as the 5-drop. Yeah, I think my opponent just realized that I'm going to have flyers that are just going to be beating them down over and over and over again, and they don't have answers. That's the thing. People will get really overwhelmed by flyers in this format. It's one of the reasons that I found that Kaikar is such a powerful commander, and I think Errant and Giada will be too. But GG's. On to the next. Opponent goes first. We have slow mana. We are playing into Rocco. The Rock. Trying to think. Rocco's actually a CEDH level commander, believe it or not, because he is a tutor in the command zone. When he enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you may set your library for a creature card with mana value X or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. It can be like, it can be pay 4 to force out a really powerful 1-drop onto the battlefield, or it can be like a pay 10 to force out a powerful 7-drop onto the battlefield without having to actually physically cast that card. It's like they are ramping on turn 1. That is scary. The reason I'm playing this, even though I drew this for Mana Tithe, is because I just need to get my tapped lands out of the way. Man, my opponent literally has 3 pieces of ramp already, huh? We will now change our mind to this, because we will be able to flash in Spectral Sailor, potentially trade for one of their things, or just have a good flyer out, as well as being able to hold up Mana Tithe mana if my opponent has, like, their red mana, and then is able to play The Rock to go get, like, a 3-drop. His name's Rocco. Okay, they could go get, like, a 3-drop right. Sorry, a 2-drop. 2-drop. They could go get a 2-drop right here. If they could play Llanowar Tribe. Ramp, 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 ramp. We will flash this in on instep now. We will play this. Tap this way. And we will start our beatdown attack. I do have defenses now. Very good, very good. And we also have really cheap stuff. I'm going to assume that they're probably going to go for like a Crater Hoof or something. Because I'm not... Listen. I love you all. Like, Gruul / Green Stompy players in the historic Brawl queue. But y'all know that y'all all just go for Crater Hoof ASAP, right? Like, y'all kind of wear a sign on your forehead that says, I'm playing green, I'm going to go get a Crater Hoof. Ooh! Yeah, hate to see it. That wasn't going to be a Crater Hoof, it was only 5. I believe Crater Hoof is like 7? But you really hate to see the Mana Tithe canceling out their ramp spell play. And they hated it so much that they conceded. On to the next. We are on the draw. We have a pretty okay hand. We're playing into Teysa, which is kind of sacrifice tribal. We might just turn 1 play Siren Storm Tamer. I think that's probably the play, and then we'll probably turn 2 flash in Omen of the Sea if we are allowed to. I think that's probably the best play. Creature tokens? That's weird. Dream Trawler and Teferi, not great. Draw is a little expensive, but we can go hunting for exactly what we need. Unless, of course, they play Mana Tithe, and if they do, I will be very upset with them. Those are lands. I don't think I need 2 tapped lands, though. I will hope for an untapped land now. I did not get one. It is fine. I think we kind of want to hold up the negate, just in case they try and play some crazy 4-drop something or another. Edgar. Not what I expected. We will play the Fairy Vandal, though. We will pay 3 life. We just want to have open multiple options, so we can sack this to go scrying, and still flash in the Spectral Sailor. We can, we can just counter that. And we will just go ahead and flash in the Spectral Sailor. He'll eat a hit if they want to swing in. Because I'm not, like, down on life, but I'm not up on life, you know what I'm saying? I'm really sad about that being a tapped land. We have the ability to flash an Overcharged Amalgam, which we might. Only a 3/3, though. We'll just flash in our commander, then. We'll see if our commander eats up something from them. Land off the top, that bodes well, in a way. Okay. Have you considered reading the card Siren Storm Tamer? You know, like, I'm not gonna lie, I really don't think a lot of people read the cards. Also, bye, Edgar.
Let's take it back.
Get tucked. People refer to Teferi's -3 as like tucking the card away into their deck. If Teferi dies, it's fine. It doesn't actually bother me that much. He did his job. All right. We will play Dream Trawler. We will draw our second card for turn.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
I believe it is discard a card to give this guy hexproof, which is very nice. We will untap our dual lands just to hold up the idea of something. Yeah, you discard something, it becomes hexproof. You discard a green... Okay, yeah. I was making sure I was reading it right, but they wrathed me. Go ahead and draw the card.
Keep up the pace.
We will hard play the Shark Typhoon. They tapped land, and we will untap those. We got a Shark Typhoon. We're gonna play a Shark Typhoon. Bye, Edgar. Bye, Edgar. We get a 1/1. Yeah, this is the other half of the deck, by the way. We just get to play blue-white control.
Hurry.
We will just hard play during main phase, which is a little weird, but I was gonna see if anything good was on top. Which there is. But it's not exactly what I wanted. But yeah, we're in a very, very good position here. We can flash this in. I don't think we will, though. I think we'll just wait. This is a wonderful card. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage, you may draw a card. We have a lot of flyers. We get to draw a lot of cards. It's also a May trigger, by the way, so you get to decide if you want to like leave something on top or play it out.
Let's skip to the
Or any number of things. Gain 2 life, draw 2 cards. We will untap our dual land, so now we have 3 open mana. Perfect for Guardian of Faith. Yeah, sure.
now.
I had to think about it. But my opponent is basically dead here. I unfortunately couldn't get up to 4 mana. But it still worked pretty well. Hey, Vega. More! Oh, wait, hang on. Can you take enchantments? You can only take artifacts. Darn. We will draw cards. We will play things and draw cards. We will, I think, win. I think that's lethal. Bonk, 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 bonk. Yeah. Value! Listen, I'm sorry. That was the most value game I think I ever got to play. Being able to save my thing early with Siren Storm Tamer to force out multiple pieces of removal, Dream Trawler forcing out removal, getting to play Teferi. Oh my goodness. So much value. And look at this board state by the end there. Even if I hadn't gotten to lethal, they would have been dead on the next turn unless they found a board wipe. We also got out, what, 1, 2, 3 specific removal spells and a board wipe. Whew, Teysa, you tried, honey, but whew, man, you had a bad day. GG's opponent, you did the best you could. I just had a lot of value. On to the next. We are going first. We have 2 mana and a counter spell. That's good enough. What are the odds I don't draw a 3rd land? If I draw a 3rd land and it's untapped, I can play Muldrifter. It's the bottom line here, is why I'm not concerned. Brunor is a little bit scary. I probably need like a board wipe of some sort. Oh, thank goodness I drew a 3rd land. Or like a removal spell of some sort to take care of it. This is also non-land permanent, by the way. So if they play something that's like a little scary. I mean, that's not it, but... Can we just play Linvala? It's a 3/3. I think that's a pretty okay choice. It was either Linvala or Errant and Giada, and I wasn't sure which one I wanted to play. I think Linvala might have been the right decision, might have been the wrong decision. It depends on what they play here. If they swing in, they have some type of combat trick. I didn't... Wow! I wonder if they have a combat trick. You can tell what card someone's looking at by like what cards are lighting up. They're looking at the cards in their hand there because it's all lighting up. There are tells like this, obviously, in paper as well, chat. Chat? Oh god, I'm too much of a strimmer. There are tells like this in paper, viewer. By the way, if you want to watch me stream, I'm live on Twitch all the fucking time. I think we have to hold this. By hold this, I mean, we will swing Linvala in, but, like, we just don't want it to die. Yeah, all that pausing and stuff, that, like, there are tells like that in paper when you're, like, actually playing a person, depending on how much they pause, how much they think, how much they consider stuff. There's obviously tells like that in paper as well, but in Arena, there are very obvious tells like that as well. No. If we hit more land, we maybe would have let it land and then prayer of binding it. We might just play the reality chip if we... I think we've hit the point where we need to play Muldrifter if we don't hit land. Did hit land. Then we play... I think we play reality chip now, actually. Oh, we hit land. And now we can maybe attach the reality chip to Linvala, and we can also use it as a chump blocker. And we can sack Linvala to make it indestructible, too, which is pretty cool. Or hexproof. Both are an option. I can... That's all, folks. I wish Linvala could choose to make certain things hexproof, because then you could, like, make your opponent's creature be hexproof, which would be really funny. Because you can do that with certain things like God Willing. It's like isn't it like, I believe God's Willing's description is like give a creature protection from a color. The beginning of your upkeep? Okay, upkeep. Yeah, we prayer of binding that. I think we just do it on my turn, actually. Mine. And then we might just Sunfall if they replay their commander, which is like a little... You know what we could have done? Hindsight's 2020 here. We could have spent our last turn reconfiguring the reality chip. Never mind, there's going to Thundering Rebuke. Interesting. Well, now that idea would have gone out the window. But we could have spent our last turn reconfiguring the... Gee, I wonder if they have a combat trick. Reconfiguring the reality chip to our Linvala, and that way reality chip would no longer be a creature, it would be an equipment. Luminous Broodmoth. Okay, as much as I hate getting rid of my reality chip, no. No, you're not allowed that. On this next turn, I think we'll probably play Ornithopter and Muldrifter, probably. We can play Linvala out of the graveyard with Sarah Paragon, by the way. It's pretty cool. I don't feel like red-white has too much enchantment removal. Alright. We'll just play Muldrifter, actually. He can be played. He's a good boy. We will play this tapped. And then on the next turn, untapped. Sarah Paragon. Linvala. We'll see if my opponent just has lethal, though. There's no reason for me to be blocking these. I have 21 life. There is the off chance that they have, like, a card that, like... Opponent, I didn't declare blockers. You're supposed to wait until I declare blockers. Otherwise, that happens. I don't know. Can you evoke out of the graveyard? We'll find out. You cannot. So evoke cost is something entirely different, it seems. Which I thought it was, but... wasn't 100%. Yeah, we'll just vibe like this. We might end up sacking or trading our Hall of the Storm Giants for something that they do. If they don't give this thing something with any more toughness, we might just double block it. It's a pretty decent trade, IMO. We'll just let it go through for now. 9 damage no longer scares me. Having Sarah Paragon on board just makes my life easier. 3-2 with Trample, not exactly scary, but they can reattach stuff. We will play Siren Storm Tamer here. We have up the counter spell, and I think we can flip this as well. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? We're gonna actually probably play out... We might flip this and then be able to mystical this speed. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 mana. There's very low odds that they'll actually play something that's, like, scary here. Alright. Let's do this the weird way. We have a 3/3. We will block here. Double block there. Depending on what they do determines what I do with Linvala here. It's just a little low 1 mana. We also still have access to Mystical Dispute to maybe make them like pay out more for stuff or like not be able to do something if they play something super expensive. I don't know though. We'll find out, right? We're not really sure where this is going. Linvala's is a mana-less ability, which is nice. They're just going to try and go for lethal here? Well, why don't you make your decision? If you're going to make it hexproof, you have to do something else in that. Well, let's make them pay more. I think they need... It says you need to cast it, right? It doesn't say... It just says copy. We might be dead. We do gain 2 life from Linvala, though. But it means they don't have anything else. Indestructible. Nothing dies. And I took like 1 damage. Well, that boded well for me. What is that now? A 4/4 with trample? Not exactly scary. Oh my god. Gee, I wonder if my opponent's gonna do something. Let's make a big blocker. We will throw both of these in front of the Trampler, and we will throw that in front of the Brunor. Can you find a way to get past 10 toughness, opponent, as well as 10 damage? You also have this to counter target spell or ability that targets a creature I control. What you got, opponent? They clearly have something, otherwise they wouldn't have bothered to reorder the Storm Giants to first. You know? And they're gonna do the thing. Wow, that was so crazy! I'm pretty sure it doesn't... that's +6/+6, right? Which literally, like... It doesn't get big enough to not die. Which, I mean, sure you gained a lot of life, bud, but... I'm still standing. Better than I ever did. Also, I can play that out of the graveyard. LOL! Maybe they didn't know that, but I did. Oh, man. It's so funny. I love doing that to people. With Sarah Paragon and like Hall of the Storm Giant shenanigans. You can play it out of the graveyard. Okay, just a 2/2 with lifelink. Vanishing Light. Oh no, what are they gonna hit? Yeah, you're not, actually. It's not there anymore. I think we'll probably use one of these to seek a non-land card. Really? I guess they really want to trade their commander away. I think they might be getting a little frustrated, considering I've been playing this in a very annoying manner, to be fair. I think we just flash out Errant and Giada here. So now we can play off the top of the library, assuming things go well. We'll play this. We will play this, and I don't think we want to seek, actually. I mean, they can just replay their commander after this, but... I think we have enough mana to Hall of the Storm Giants. Man, that took all of their mana, huh? Ooh, baby. I mean, you can pay 0 to re-equip something. That is very true. Did you just forget I have a Hall of the Storm Giants, though? They may have forgotten I have a Hall of the Storm Giants. It's back, bitches. Can I do this? Darn, I was hoping it would just auto hit Teferi off the top there. Play this for 1. And we'll keep this guy back. He's here to die. Or get sacked. Egads! It would be a shame if we played Teferi next turn and tucked away your commander, huh? It doesn't give them trample. That's the only reason I don't care. It doesn't give them trample. Why do I care, right? They don't automatically gain trample from this hit, so... And we have lots of little chump blockers. Alright.
I know what must be
Bye-bye.
done. You need to slow down.
Alright, well, we'll start swinging. I'm kind of surprised they put it back in the command zone there. I had to respond to a DM about someone asking to Rade in a Vigi game, so apologies, dear viewer, if I paused. Are they like gonna rope me now? Are they like really mad that I got to play Teferi and I haven't? They might be roping me. Oh, Pepe laugh. Oh, the Twitch streamer in me is coming out. I'm sorry. I had to respond to something and it got me in the wrong mindset. Yeah, it looks like they might be roping me, which is fair because we kind of I can't say like firmly outplayed, but we played really well around what they were doing. I mean, they could have something in hand. They could just be thinking. They could be trying to decide. They could have also just lagged out of the game or like DC'd from the game. I've had that happening a lot since this latest update. All right. So they can attach a dwarf to that. It's a 5/1 with trample. Only a tiny bit scary, though. I feel like this guy's stored under the prayer of binding, which is quite funny. None of that gives it haste, though.
You know what?
We will draw.
I'm not done yet.
We will draw. We will hard play Shark Typhoon, I think. And we will vibe back on defense. And we will untap you and you. A lot of lands. A lot of power. Shark Typhoon will probably allow us to just like come away with the win here in a bit. Yeah, I think so. Between Shark Typhoon and Shark Typhoon and Teferi, we're gonna be doing pretty good. Teferi allows us to just draw through our deck pretty efficiently. Errant and Giada will allow us to play a lot of stuff off the top. Sarah Paragon will allow us to replay stuff from our graveyard if stuff dies, like if Watcher of the Spheres gets traded out here or something. The right decision, opponent. Good job. The other right decision is just kind of hang back for them, I think. I mean, they have almost enough to equip that, don't they? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have enough to equip the hammer. That is not the right play, though. Ooh, hate to see it. It had trample.
Keep up the
There we go. That was a really grindy match. Ooh, boy. Either way. GG's opponent. That was a good one. That was the games. Hopefully, they were to your liking, dear viewer. But overall, yeah, I think this deck is really strong. I think it's really grindy. I think it can go pretty hard. It's just a little... It's a little bit slower if you don't get some of your, like, Anthem-ish effects. Your favorable wins really helps you speed up a bit. And if you can hit, like, Giada on turn 2, being able to make Errant and Giada a little bigger works really well. As well as potentially your Sarah Paragon. But like I said, this isn't really Angel Tribal, so those Angel synergies are very few and far between. Could you include a couple of Angels as your top-end stuff for a little bit more power? Could you drop, like, the Artistic Refusal and Dream Trawler for a couple more Angels in the deck? Could you drop the Wandering Emperor for something like that? Sure, you could swap those things out. And I think as I played, I came to that conclusion as well. I could have ended games faster if I had maybe a few more big creatures rather than some controlling elements, but I like to play a controlling game style, so that is exactly how I played it. Hopefully you liked the video, hopefully you liked the deck list, and hopefully you have a nice day. That's not how I end these. Don't forget to like, oh god. Oh god, you think I wouldn't do this for a living? Ugh. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one.